It's a new year, and with T-Mobile, it's not about how far apart we are. It's about how close we can be. So we're bringing out our best deal. Right now, get the iPhone 12 on us on every single plan with eligible iPhone trade-in.
So I can FaceTime with my sister in Savannah.
That's right, the iPhone 12 on us on every plan. All on America's 5G leader in coverage. T-Mobile.
With 24 monthly bill credits and a new line plus tax. If you cancel, credit stop and balance on required finance agreement may be due. Contact us for well-qualified buyers. Qualifying consumer plan required. See coverage and offer details at T-Mobile.com.
Every gambler knows that the secret to surviving.
I don't want to take advice from fools.
You always won every time you placed a bet.
Money, that's what I want.
Grandmaster Handicapper Joe Duffy, we're going to take a look at the best computer super systems out there. What is the difference between systems and trend? A trend is team specific. For example, an example of a trend might be Philadelphia is 10-2 off of a double-digit loss. However, systems are league-wide. A system would be, for example, all teams with at least 3 days of rest off a double-digit loss or 233-74. Now, these are just an example of some systems. They're not any specific systems that apply in a specific sport. Now, Joe Duffy's Picks uses systems, not trends. But why do systems work? And OffshoreInsiders.com certainly proof of that. They save thousands of man hours. I hope we can say that in 2017, women hours, whatever. You'll never miss when they apply. Back when I got started handicapping in the 1980s and then professionally in 1988, we didn't have this very sophisticated software. And I knew in the back of my mind that there were certain situations where teams might be susceptible to letdowns and sandwich games and look-ahead games. Now you can program them in there, and there are quite a few programs, including ones on the market, we'll even allude to them later, where you can program your systems and the computer itself will tell you when they are available. And basically, what we do is measure tendencies. Over the last 20 years, 25 years, this is when teams are going to maybe look ahead. But the thing that a lot of people don't realize, we're not just measuring the tendencies of the teams, we're measuring the tendencies of the odds makers. Here's when the odds makers will overreact. Here's when the odds makers know that the public is going to overreact. So systems do what years ago would take many hours, and now the computers do it for us. We just store the information. We got to work hard to find these systems, but we now know exactly when they will apply. Now, what are the criterion for the best systems? Usually a Z-score of 4.5 or higher, 80 units after the juice. So basically, if we bet this every single time at minus the normal 10% juice, if we're talking about Major League Baseball, minus whatever it was, or in the case of many of our systems, plus the juice when it comes to Major League Baseball, usually about 80 units. And this isn't etched in stone. It's not to say that if we have something that's, for example, 78 units, but maybe the Z-score is 4.6, or if we got something 4.4 and 75 units, of course these are weighted accordingly. This is not an etched in stone mathematical breakoff point, but it is just gives you a good idea of what our exact criterion is for these great computer systems. And we want to know a computer system is held up for at least 10 years or so. Again, though, if we have something that over the last 6 years, as the games change, especially in the NFL, maybe we'll have something that's got a Z-score of approaching 6, and it only applies over, say, the last 7 years, 8 years. Of course, we will use that. So these are not etched in stone criterion for when we will use all these systems. And here's kind of a one that's open to debate. It's got to be logical from a betting standpoint, but then again, there are times when we've used data mining, we found ridiculous systems, and you could also make an argument the more obscure they are, the more they are able to sneak under the radar. But we definitely weigh much higher logical from a betting standpoint. For example, in every single solitary sport, we do have a regression to the mean one. And a regression to the mean, since we know it works in every sport, it makes so much sense, that will be held to we'll weigh that a little bit more accordingly than we would if some other systems where the raw numbers might be higher, but we're very confident if something is logical from a betting standpoint that it's going to stand the test of time. Remember, the Master Lock Line also has the top sports services going back to the Scorephone days. The best sports services that you're going to get anywhere are on the Master Lock Line. And, of course, all this stuff is on offshoreinsiders.com, where you get the best computer plays. We are not done yet, folks. We're not done yet. So, where does Joe Duffy's Picks get this great intelligence? Where do we get these great systems? We've traded with other pro gamblers and syndicates. Spend a lot of money or a lot of time researching these, and we've traded with a lot of other pro gamblers and syndicates. We've also flat out purchased them. That's why you'll see more times than not the line moves. The earlier you get down on Joe Duffy's plays at offshoreinsiders.com, the better, for two reasons. Number one, so many high rollers are subscribers of ours, and those who aren't have very similar metrics and systems. Why? Because they're proven, and because winners use them and losers kind of subsidize them. Now, we've used many different computer programs throughout the years: StatFox, aka Fox Sheets, BetLabs, SportsDatabases, old point spread analyzer. A lot of you are going to be, what the hell is a point spread analyzer? We used that years and years ago. It was written by a very prominent statistician guy by the name of Mike Orkin, and some of these systems still hold up year after year after year. Those of you who have been with us since the Scorephone days, you know one NBA angle that we have won with literally since the early 90s, when the first killer, maybe I'll say kick, no, I'll just say kick butt, when the first incredible computer program came out. It was called the Point Spread Analyzer, and it was fantastic, and we have been doing so well with that over the years. Again, offshoreinsiders.com for the best computer systems in the world. www.offshoreinsiders.com. Winning systems only at offshoreinsiders.com.
Want to keep little hands busy at home? The Home Depot has free Kids Workshop kits with everything you need to get started. Pick up a new one in store starting the first Saturday of every month. Then head to homedepot.com/kids for a project guide that's easy to follow along with, plus loads of other kid-friendly content. Kids can't wait to get their hands on them. Find out more at homedepot.com/kids. Free Kids Workshop kits, only from the Home Depot. How doers get more done. While supplies last, U.S. only.